Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something interesting. I decided I wanted to rank some classic thrash metal that is not a part of the big four. So we're going to do Exodus. And we're starting with Bonded by Blood. This album is going to fantastic. Solid opener with the title track. I also like Exodus and Then There Will Be None. A Lesson of Violence is my personal favorite. That is a 10 out of 10 track. I also like Metal Command and Piranha. No Love is my least favorite at a strong 9. Still a fantastic track, just not as good as the rest. I also like Deliver Us to Evil and Strike of the Beast. A fantastic album, just not a perfect album, at least in my opinion. But next up we have Pleasures of the Flesh. And this album is going to perfection. I know that's a hot take, but I stand by it. I really love this album. From the opening of Deranged till Death Do Us Part to Parasite to Brain Dead to Faster Than You Ever Live to Be to the title track to 30 Seconds. Yes, I know it's like a 40-second interlude, but I think that's the joke in hand is, it's 30 seconds, but it's a 40-second interlude, whatever. And it's just basically them farting around on acoustic guitar. I really love that, actually. I also love Seeds of Hate and Kimmy Kill and Choose Your Weapon as well. Excellent album! Excellent album, in my opinion. But next up, we have... excuse me, I had to clear my throat. Fabulous Disaster. And this album is also going to perfection. Like, these two are tied. I could rank Pleasures of the Flesh or Fabulous Disaster at number 1, but this is like 1. I'm going to say Pleasures is 1, and Fabulous Disaster is 1.1. But, excellent album. Dang it. Hold on. There we go. Excellent album. I love the opener of The Last Act of Defiance. I love the title track. I love the Toxic Waltz. I'm one of the weirdos that even likes the Lowrider cover, unironically. Also love Cajun Hell, Like Father Like Son, Corruption, Verbal Razors, Open Season. I even love the Overdose AC/DC cover. Excellent album in my opinion. This is a fantastic album that I think every classic thrash fan should hear. But next up we have Impact is imminent. Impact is imminent. There we go. This is going to good. I find it to be a couple steps down from the last ones, not just one. But decent opener with the title track. Same with A-Roll and Lunatic Parade. Within the Walls of Chaos is a little too long. That's like a light 7. Objection Overruled is a strong 7 though. That's probably my favorite on the album. Only Death decides is D7. Same with Heads They Win, Tails You Lose. And same with Changing of the Guard and Thrash Under Pressure. Decent album, a good album, just not as good as like the last 3 we talked about. So, what are you gonna do? But next up we have Force of Habit. And this album is going to the bottom at okay. It's probably my least favorite Exodus album. The only reason is straddling the line between okay and meh for me. The reason why it's not in bad is because there's like half of the album is pretty good. Like if they cut this thing in half, this would be in good tier. But as it stands, it's just way too long. And I'm being a little generous. I could change that tier from okay to meh, but eh. But yeah, there's some decent tracks on here, like Me, Myself, and I, the title track. I also like One Foot in the Grave and Count Your Blessings. I also enjoy When It Rains, It Pours and Feeding Time at the Zoo. I do not enjoy Architect of Pain or Good Day to Die or Feel the Fire or Bitch, the Rolling Stones cover. And I'm not... And Thorn in by Side is a mediocre track, but it's not the worst thing ever. So this album is it's like a mixture of half good stuff, half trash, just a very overly bloated mess, but with some high points. It's got some good moments on here. Also, I really hate this album art too. It looks like a freaking yeah, fuck it. It looks like a fucking 3-year-old drew it, dude. I hate it so much. But next up we have Tempo of the Damned. And this album is going to great. I really liked the opener score, Spangled Banner. I also like Wars by Shepherd, Blacklist, Shroud of Urine, Forward March, Calling the Herd, Sealed with the Fist, Throwing Down. That one feels like a little bit more of like a Pantera song for Throwing Down. I also like Impaler and the title track. Solid album. It's like a decent 9 all the way through. It has no 10s on it, but it has nothing bad, so goes in great tier. I feel like if I was just ranking it on its own, I would probably give it like an A- to an A. I would put it in amazing to fantastic, but for their own discography, what are you gonna do? Next up, we have Shovel-Headed Kill Machine. And this album is going to perfection. I love this album. I love it from the opener of Raise all the way to the closure of the title track. Love Death Amphetamine, Karma Messages, Shudder to Think, I Am Abomination, Altered Boy, Going, Gone, Now Thy Death Day Come, 44 Magnum Opus, legendary album. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. With their debut, Bonded by Blood, they've had 3 lead singers. Their debut was with Paul Baloff. Then after that, for the next, I want to say 5 albums, they had Steve Souza, and with this one they have Rob Dukes. And now my favorite it's actually a toss-up between Steve Souza and Rob Dukes. I think I prefer Steve Souza just a little bit more, but they're very close though. Both very excellent singers. Next up we have The Atrocity Exhibit. And this album is going to fantastic above Bonded by Blood. Solid instrumental opener with Cold Arms, that's like a decent 9, but then we get into the meat of it with the Riot Act, Funeral Hymn, Children of a Worthless God, As It Was, As It Soon Shall Be, the title track, Iconoclasm, The Guardian of Bleeding, Bedlam, 1, 2, 3, and Bonded by Banjo, the hidden track, which is like a joke version of the original. I really love it, honestly. I honestly think this is an excellent album from beginning to end. The only reason why it's not perfection is I just prefer Shovel-Headed Killing Machine a little bit more. Okay? Okay. But next up we have Exhibit B, The Human Condition. This album is going to great. Above Tempo of the Damned. Solid opener with the Ballad of Leonard and Charles. Beyond the Pale is a 10 out of 10 track. Hammer on Life is a good track. I also like Class Dismissed, Downfall, March of the Sycophants. Nicking is one of my least favorites, though. That's a light 9. I also love Burn Hollywood Burn, Democide, The Sun is My Destroyer. A Perpetual State of Indifference is a light 9 as well, but Good Riddance is a 10 out of 10. I also love the bonus track Devil's Teeth as well. Great album, in my opinion. Like a great album. It's a little hit and miss at points, but honestly, it hits like 90% of the time and only misses 10% of the time. So, still a great album. But next up, we have Blood In, Blood Out. And now we have to introduce Steve Souza back to this. And this is all I'm going to say. This album is going to the top of fantastic. It's like right under Shovel-Headed Kill Machine, in my opinion. Fantastic opener with Black 13. The title track is a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. I also love Collateral Damage, Salt the Wound, Body Harvest, BTK, Wrapped in the Arms of Rage, My Last Nerve, Numb, Honor Killings, and Food for the Worms. Excellent album from beginning to end. What do you want me to say? This is a fantastic album. Just killing it from beginning to end on this one. I really love this thing. But next up, we have Persona Non Grata. And this album is going to... This is going to grate above Temple of the Damned. It's on par with Exhibit B, The Human Condition, but I think I like Exhibit B just slightly more. So right behind it for now. Great opener with the title track. I also like REMF and Slipping into Madness. Elitist is a decent 9. Same with Prescribing Honor. The Beatings Will Continue is a strong 9. I also like The Years of Death and Dying. Clickbait is solid. Casco del Panto? I think that's how you pronounce it. Panto? Pantano? I don't know. Casco del Panato. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. Is a light 9. It's decent instrumental. Not bad. Same with Lunatic Liar Lord. That's not an instrumental, but it's a full song. Decent track. Decent 9. The Fires same with the Fires of Division and Anti-Seed. Good album. Great album, honestly. It's just not as good as what we have in Fantastic Imperfection. And now, this may get a little controversial because I'm going to put Goliath at the top of OK above Force of Habit. This is actually my second least favorite Exodus album, in my personal opinion. Okay, this album is like almost has some similar problems to Force of Habit, where half of it is like good, and the other half is just mediocre. So, in my opinion, this like solid opener with 3-1-11. That's a decent 7. Hostess Human and Generous is a decent set. Same with the Changing Me. Promise You This is a decent 7. Goliath is a decent 6. Beyond the Event Horizon's a 7. 2 Minutes Hate and Violence Works a 6. Summon of the God Unknown is a decent 7. And same with the Dirtiest of the Dozen. So, in my opinion, this is one of those things of like we would have a good EP on our hands, but as a full album, it's just kind of okay. But that's my Exodus ranking. So we go Pleasures of the Flesh, Fabulous Disaster, Showhead a Killing Machine, Blood In, Blood Out, The Atrocity Exhibit A, Bonded by Blood, Exhibit B, The Human Condition, Persona Non Grata, Tempo of the Damned, Impact is Imminent, Goliath, and then at the bottom, Force of Habit. Tell me your favorite Exodus songs on here. Tell me if I got my ranking right. Tell me your ranking. I would also appreciate that. And if you like what you see here, feel free to drop a like. Also, feel free to comment on anything you want to say about or other recommendations for bands you want me to review. I may honestly do them. But that should do it. Everyone, have a great day, a great weekend, and a great week. I will see all of you next week. Take care, everyone.